go. Now I know what's going on. Is it like super hot or are you good? All right.
I guess so.
Do you trust me driving this?
Good thing is this is a tank.
First question.
I know. We'll just mow over whoever we're like near. Yeah, this is cool. So how are you feeling after that game? I know it's like 10 a.m. Did you get to like actually stay after and recover or anything?
No, yeah, I do for sure. And then it's not, I guess it's done that late, but I got some time to sleep. Sleep like 12, wake up like 9.
Is that like a typical thing, or is this kind of early?
Maybe for like a off day, this is a little early for me to wake up. I'll probably wake up a little later, maybe 10:30, but it's not too bad.
Yeah. So obviously Mississippi State, you were like the talk of everything, and was it 3 threes towards the end? Obviously those points were massive towards that win.
Yeah.
Like, what did that feel like being able to come out and just have that recognition on the back end, and obviously Coach Pope saying like it doesn't matter how much money you have, you can't buy what you can do on the floor. So
yeah,
how's that all make you feel?
I felt great. Just being able to go out there and contribute to that win. It was a big win. We needed that win. Just feeling all the love after for this fan base and for the coaches and my teammates. It just like you said, you can't really replace that feeling with anything. So it just felt great.
Yeah, because you've been coming off the bench at the beginning of the season, right?
Yeah.
It seems like recently. Did you start that game?
Nah, I didn't think so. I meant to play a little more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does that? Obviously you come off the bench to support, but now you're putting up like, you're challenging the starters, like what's going on here. So like, where do you feel like you are in that mix right now?
To be honest, I just feel like here, just like to help the team. That's why I even came to Kentucky. I wasn't really here for my ego or any of these individual things. I was here to really help the team so that we are able to go out there and win the national championship when March comes in April. That's really why I came here. So obviously I want to help the team any way that is.
Right.
Do that in any role that can be. So
like, you come off the bench, you have a great game with Mississippi State. Last night, obviously, another strong performance. Like, how do you get that first initial high of like Big Blue Nation and everybody saying all this stuff on Saturday? You come out, you have another strong game. How do you keep that going and not get distracted with the conversations and get too much of an ego and just stay focused?
Just stay grounded and remember where you come from and remember why you're here. That's really how I try to stay grounded. Like I came from a small school. Like a lot of people said I couldn't really be here, so I understand that I'm privileged and I don't want to really take anything for granted. I'm grateful for my opportunity. I just try to go out there every day and do my best.
One of the big conversations right now that I hear on other shows is like, obviously people are sitting here comparing like, what's Arkansas's record versus what is UK doing right now, and like which one is the bigger surprise? And a lot of people are like, the UK record in a lot of ways seems like a bigger surprise because Coach Pope comes here, he's got nobody on the roster, he's got to go in and handpick you guys, and I'm sure he's like knocking on your front door at home, literally maybe sitting on the couch, which is what happens, right?
Yeah.
So like, what do you think it was in you that Pope saw to be able to fly out to New York and basically be like, hey, why don't you come to Kentucky? You just said that you're at a small school where people didn't think that you could be here.
Yeah.
What do you think it was that the guy in charge actually contradicted all those people?
He watched my film. He's a really, really smart coach. He does the film. He understood that. He felt that I could really help his team, and I was a great fit for his system. Because in the system, not everybody can play in the system like the way he plays and the way he preaches. So he thought I was a great fit for that. And I'll be able to come in and contribute and help us win games. So I feel like this is what he thought, and I'm appreciative for really thinking that.
Yeah. And obviously, with more notoriety and more brand name, it's like that's kind of the interesting thing about this particular season. And we've had the Oscar Sheepways, we had the Harrison Twins, and these kind of people that walk through the door, and before they've even played a second of a game, we knew who they were. and a lot of you guys have a name from another school, but in like the overall ranking of like the national thing, it's like we hear names from other schools a lot of times, and you guys are out there outperforming all those people, and your names are getting in those conversations now. So I'm just kind of curious, like, what does that feel like to be, you know, Ansley walking in saying like, well, I was told that maybe I couldn't even come to a program like this, and now you are. Now you're out there and you have 2 super strong games in a row, and your name is getting up there in those conversations.
ESPN highlights it.
Yeah, it feels great, you know. Like, it feels like the work is paying off. That's why I took this opportunity to be able to come to Kentucky so I could show people that I do belong here. And you know, when you have the confidence in yourself, it's just a great feeling to be able to go out there and back it up. That's what I feel like I'm doing. I feel like backing up everything that I thought of myself before. You know, it's just a great feeling. Obviously, the doubters wrong and stuff, but
yeah. So, as somebody that is literally in the seat of go to a small school, you know, in this NIL world, almost like using it like development time to then go into a Division I program like this. Do you like that it's structured like this now? I mean, this seems like the structure that's going to move forward with the transfer portal and everything.
To be honest,
else.
I love it. I like it. It empowers the players. That's what it should be about. You know, when you look at all these other leagues, the NBA, NFL, it always empowers the players. And I feel like college just wasn't doing that for however many years before NIL was a thing. So, yeah, I like the way it is right now. Probably there's going to be some sort of governing body trying to just mitigate some of the transferring and stuff, with like free flowing 1 year here, 1 year there. But besides that, I feel like it's a great structure right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, I battle with it personally because I understand from player development side, it makes sense. Both schools win. Like, the smaller school gets a guy like you in there, and then Kentucky gets benefit also on the back end, and the fans get to benefit because we get to observe you and you play for us and all the things. But also, it's like, where is there real allegiance to that name? You know, like, the thing about Kentucky has always been, I want to go play at Kentucky because of the name on the front of the jersey, you know? And now with money being involved, it seems like it could enter this whole thing of like, well, I don't necessarily care about the name. I just want to see who's going to pay me the most to go play.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see that. That's one thing. I feel like Coach Pope did a great job of recruiting guys who really did care about the name on our front, because all of us, we had aspirations of playing for Kentucky. We knew what Kentucky was before we came here. It was always the dream of ours. It was a goal of mine growing up to be able to come play at Kentucky, at such a big school of blue blood with all the history. You know, so I feel like when it comes to certain schools, you're always, the name is always going to matter. Like Kentucky, the name is always going to matter. Kids are going to want to come play here just because of the history that the school has in general. And you know, that's why I came here, because I want to be able to put on a jersey, just like so many greats that came here in the past. And so I feel like it just depends on the school.
You know, one of the other things, I think it was KSR was talking about, the fact that you guys there was a viral video of the group that came in, you guys were singing happy birthday to Trent Noah. Everybody like in a jersey is smiling. You guys in the team photo, everybody's smiling. Like when you guys are out in the community, or not even in the community, you're on the court, you're actually like smiling. At a time where in culture, and if you look at the rest of basketball, you gotta look tough. Like there's no, like they keep referencing like the U of L thing where it was like Pat Kelsey was the only one smiling in their team photo. So is that a thing that's just genuine within you guys as individuals, like before you got here? Is that a thing that Coach Pope has like instilled, like, hey, you gotta be able to smile, like, because this is like, you gotta present yourself a certain way. You don't need to be, you know, looking hard and like, I feel like where does that come from?
It's something that we're actually genuinely happy with each other though. Like, you know, I also feel like Coach Pope has not, like he's told us like we do have that image, we have to smile, we have to be able to enjoy serving people in Kentucky because they do so much for us. So it's a privilege for us to be able to put on a jersey always. So we have to be able to understand that, and that's something we do understand. But like I said, we're brothers. You know, we're so close as a team. So we're genuinely happy for each other. Genuinely happy being around each other. So it's just a great time always. The smiling is completely genuine. You know.
Yeah.
We just enjoy spending time with each other.
Like, what does it take to be a good teammate in this kind of environment anymore? With the shifting people, and you know that the guy standing next to you may not be here next year, whether it's going to the league, or well, not you next year because you won't be here, unfortunately. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you just know that there's going to be shifting going on. So how do you actually build that bond, play together, all those things?
Just being able to focus on have a common goal and be able to focus on that one goal and not look past that one goal, and just be able to try to fight and achieve that one goal for the person standing next to you. Having that mindset, it makes you, like, it builds you to become closer as you can, because like you said, we're only gonna be here for 1 year, so why not make the most out of this year? Why not win the whole thing? Stuff like that. Like when you're thinking like that, you just want to be a good teammate, because you don't know, like, you're never gonna get this time back. Like, we're probably never gonna be able to be on the same team together ever again.
Right.
So you gotta make the most of it, especially when you have people that this close. You know, we've been together since June, and we're brothers now. So it's just,
you know, I wanted to ask on the NIL side, because you know, business oriented. What to you makes a great partnership between you, an athlete, and a business? Like, what are you looking for when you're going out and you want to do a deal with somebody? What does the relationship actually look like when you're in the deal? Yeah,
just people that I feel like you relate to you, care about you, like, genuinely. It's like you care about their business. You know, it's not just a one-way street. Like you actually both are getting something out of it. Like, not just money, but like, you know, just you enjoy their service and they enjoy you as a person. They love what you represent, and you know what they represent. I feel like when I'm going out there, like, I'm trying to look for things that I feel like I would love to represent. I would love to be a part of, and look at the staff, look at to see if they're great people, and you know, see what their business is about.
Yeah. So what, you know, we're sitting here in a Bronco Raptor, right, Nick?
Yes, sir.
So what, a 2025, I would imagine?
Brand new Bronco Raptor.
Brand new. So what about like Paul Miller Ford? Let's talk about that relationship. Like, you know, what is it that, you know, you just said that like there's got to be a genuine connection there, and they believe in you, you believe in them. What is that for you?
You know, it's great. You know, it's people at Paul Miller Ford, they're very supportive. Like Nick, he's always texting me and stuff. You know, and it just feels like he cares about me as a person. Especially like when you look on social media, they're always supporting me whenever I have a game. They're posting pictures of me and stuff like that. You can tell that the partnership is genuine. It's not just we give him a car and he does videos. Like, it's not really like that. You know, it's like they care about me and I care about them. So you know, I really appreciate this partnership for sure.
Yeah. What are some
one thing that's important on our end too is, you know, Kentucky athletics as a whole for decades now, as far back as the NFL. So any chance and opportunity we can have to work with anyone in the UK, especially the players now, is always a best opportunity, and especially when they have good character, great attitude, great players on and off the court.
Yeah, that's cool. What are other NIL opportunities that you're either like in or want to be part of?
Yeah, another one that I've been in so far, and that's the Stretch Lab.
Okay.
You know, I get stretched there weekly, and it's been great. You know, I love the staff over there. Everybody over there has been great. You know, top to bottom, they treat me well. You know, I do some social media stuff for them, but yeah, like I said, there's another partnership where I feel like they care about me and I care about them. So
Yeah.
it's great. Yeah.
I know we were talking off mic like before we started. NIL seems like it's a really solid opportunity for people, especially that are going to go pro. Basically practice that PR and marketing stuff that you're learning in business school right now. Like, how do you deal with a brand? How do you choose? Like, obviously start at the basics. Who are you going to align yourself with and why? Or why not, right? And then like, what does that communication look like? What's comfortable to you? Where are your boundaries about what you're going to do and not do? How do you negotiate and structure deals and all of that kind of stuff? Like, and then when you're in the middle of the deal, how do you actually honor that and uphold it and execute to the best of your ability? And like, this seems like a really great chance to practice all that stuff, because we're hoping, obviously, you're playing in the league next year.
Yeah.
And I even gave like the example of like Gatorade comes knocking on the door and doing to do a thing, or Nike wants to do a collab and have a shoe or something. You know, it's like, do you think about that stuff as an athlete today, like how this partnership being with Paul Miller can help, you know, down the road?
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it just talking to people in general, it just helps, just to, like, part of networking, and even just becoming more experienced with certain types of like situations. You know, just being able to negotiate and, you know, have a relationship with the people at Paul Miller, definitely preparing me for my future, and whether that's on the court, off the court.
Yeah. And I know you mentioned, like, obviously you're in the Gatton School doing management. So what aspects of business attract you? You know, you could have studied anything. What was it about business that pulled you in?
I feel like it's such a broad, you know, it's such a broad space where I can get into. You know, just I like being able to manage money, and like I feel like that's really interesting to me. Being able to work with people, that's also interesting to me. It's just, I feel like business can be so broad that I feel like it was a space for me to enter when you're getting to college.
Yeah. Now, obviously, basketball is a big focus, but if outside of basketball, if you could either own or be part of a business in some capacity, like, what kind of business would it be?
I mean, I feel like just because of like my tie to sports, I don't know, it would be something sports related, just in general, because I just love sports. I'm so passionate about sports.
Like apparel, or like owning a gym, or like, what is that?
Those are two good ideas. Right?
Any or all of the above?
All of the above.
Okay.
You know, that's something I definitely want to get into. Yeah, just from my passion of the game and passion of sports in general, you know. So I feel like I want to get some involved in that.
Yeah. Yeah, double A. You know, there was a video that, do you know Gary Vaynerchuk? Do you know that name? He's an entrepreneur. Gary V. People might know him by, but so he's kind of the godfather of the whole like content movement that we have now. He's so strong and has such a big influence over that entire community of like making videos that like he's really pushing the needle anytime he talks. But anyway, there's a video that he made maybe in 2018, something like that. He was in a locker room at USC at Southern Cal with the football team, and he was talking about the power of that USC name. Like when you're a Trojan and you got that on, like that means something to the world, and you're attached to it because you're actively wearing it. The second that you graduate and you're not wearing that jersey anymore, that reputation separates. So I'm curious, how do you think of like leveraging the Kentucky name right now while you got the jersey?
I mean, I feel like that, like you said, it's part of who I am, trying to, you know, leverage the name and use the brand, because Kentucky is such a big brand when it comes to anything like Kentucky basketball. People know that name wherever you go. But I also feel like even when you take the jersey off, people still gonna remember you, like this community, this culture. Like they don't forget their guys who came there and, you know, gave it their all. But they don't forget people like that. So obviously, I want to maximize what I can you know, maximize now, because I'm wearing a jersey right now. But I feel like some of these opportunities might never leave just because of how passionate the community, the Lexington community in Kentucky in general is about this basketball program.
Yeah. So outside of basketball, I know video games are a big deal for you. We talked a little bit about, like, again, before we started, connection of athletics and athletes to video games. Like, and you were mentioning, like, there's no pressure. You're actually just having fun. You're not under a microscope of a community of, you know, fans or the coaches giving you feedback. You get to just be a competitor and have fun with your friends.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, what else are you up to outside of school, outside of athletics, outside of video games? Like, do you get any additional time? Like, is there any time for anything else? Or is that it?
Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah.
Might go out with my girlfriend, go on like on a date or something.
Okay.
Just like basically, yeah, to be honest. We don't have that much time to spare, especially being in season now. So,
Right.
yeah.
Where do you like?
What are the good date spots for y'all here?
Yeah.
Well, feel Lex Live. You know, that's a good spot right there.
Yep.
Hit downtown, maybe go hit a couple of bars, Harvey's, Roxy, or Central, or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Butts Malone's.
Yeah.
Jeff Ruby's. You know, like spots here and around.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you get to fly under the radar, or is everybody just like?
I try to
time?
fly under the radar sometimes. Try to wear UK stuff, like glasses on or something. They still always recognize me though.
Well, you're 6'7", so that. Yeah, kind of a clue at first. Yeah. Do you wish you could fly under the radar, or do you like the popularity?
Sometimes I wish I could fly under the radar. And sometimes I like it. It's like a blessing and a curse, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to not be recognized for a little bit. You know, sometimes it feels good to be recognized. So.
What are moments where it feels good versus like not? It's just like where you are in that moment of life, like you're just kind of.
I feel like
low moment. You want to blend in.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like kind of like you just like some places you don't really want to like get recognized. Like if I go to church or something.
On a date.
On a date, if I go to church or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember going to Christ the King, and Matthew Mitchell would go up, and he'd, just another.
That's where I go, and that's why I like going. That's why I like going, because people don't really come up to me that much.
Yeah.
But
that is definitely the great thing, is like that level of respect. It's like, no. He's not a basketball player here.
Yeah.
He's, child of God, like walking around here.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here, so leave him alone. Yeah. So I think that's really cool. Yeah. Where else in, like, Lexington do you like to chill? Or what else do you like to do, or events attend, or like, season's been going on. You've been here since June, so maybe not too much time outside of the season to ask you that.
Like Lex Live is a good spot. Go bowling, watch a movie. I like watching movies, so I watch movies sometimes.
Yeah.
Have you tried to find any New York inspired spots?
Yeah, there is a New York pizza spot. Maldi's is so good.
Oh yeah. They were in the Summit. That location closed. I'm not sure where they are right now.
They're in what's the right across from the Fayette Mall?
Oh, in the Summit?
The
Fritz Farms?
Yeah.
Are they still there? Okay.
They're there with the Apple Store. There's an Apple Store there, and there's a.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's right.
Got it. Yeah, it's been a while since I was over there. Okay.
Yeah,
I got it. So that's pretty legit.
Yeah.
It's at home. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Pizza's
all right.
Good. It reminds me of being in New York.
Is it the fold? I'm sure being a New Yorker, you're like folding pizza to eat it. Is that right? The right technique, right?
It depends. But like, yes, you do fold that towards the end. It's like like a sandwich.
So are you like a deep dish hater, a Detroit and Chicago hater?
Yeah, Miami hater. That's not pizza to me,
That's pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that is where pie probably comes from.
Yeah,
that's funny. So man, let's go back for a second. Like before all this, like, what kind of kid were you? Like growing up, what were you into? Was it sports the whole time, or you like into other things and sports came later?
As a kid, I was more like a quiet kid. I feel like I was always into sports because my family is sport. My older brother played basketball, played football.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was always a big sports fan, so I was always into sports for sure. Like that wasn't something I was into, like cartoons. I still like watching cartoons too, like SpongeBob.
Like, okay, I was gonna ask which ones. SpongeBob, what else?
SpongeBob was a big one.
SpongeBob was after me.
They even like Drake and Josh was a big show.
Okay.
Carly, they're like sitcoms.
Yeah.
Those are like all big shows.
I appreciate that you think that I'm so old. You had to explain to me that these were sitcoms.
Because you said that.
No, I know.
You said SpongeBob.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. No. That's cool. So, like, when did you start getting tall? How old were you?
I was tall all day. My mom just sent me a picture of my like second Halloween, and I was like 4. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I just looked like I was.
You're 2 years old and you look 4?
Yeah, when
Okay.
I was 2, I wore 4-year-old clothes.
I just know some people, like, you know, it's like middle school, just crazy late spurt, and now magically they're huge.
Some people, I was just like a steady growth. Like I just was
So-
usually bigger than everybody, and I just kept going bigger than everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah.
So
go ahead.
I'm curious about that. You know, with you growing up in New York, you know, every time I visit New York, you see all the street ball and the pickup games going on. Did you get to do that often in the city?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's just a part of New York culture, playing in the parks. That's just what it is, you know.
So I mean, how was that like? Like I'm sure you know you. Anytime I've been there, at least I see people on those street ball courts looking like they're balling out, and they could be pro. I know they literally couldn't be, but you know they look like they are.
No, yeah, you know, there's a lot of great players that are playing in these parks. They just, you know, basketball is a hard sport to really go far in, but they have the talent to play at high levels. They just, you know, something along the lines, they just did it. You know, they got taken away from the sport or something like that. So there's definitely a lot of great talent in the parks for sure. If you go in the parks,
Would you
a lot of great
would you go out there right now and risk your reputation, have some just like street baller like
No.
show you up for a second?
No, it's not just that. It's just because I wouldn't want to risk it.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I'm just kidding.
But do you think that contributed to your style of play?
Oh no, yeah, growing, it just makes you tough. Like just being on the court, playing on the street, it just makes you tough. Like there's no fouls, there's no none of that. Like you're going out there, you're hooping, there's no refs. It's just, you know, and you got to just go and earn your respect on the court. Definitely, definitely, like inspired by that play right now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, yeah, the aggressive play. I mean, I noticed that about this particular team is like, what was the game before Mississippi State? I forget. Georgia. You guys were at Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Like, just seemed like there was less aggression,
Yeah.
less hands moving, and that sort of like causing, you know, turnovers.
Yeah.
But when you guys are actually like in there and aggressive
Exactly.
on the same page together, it's like you guys are unstoppable.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what we've been seeing the last couple of games.
Yeah.
Like, what? I'm going to pivot back to actually asking about basketball for a second. Like, what is it about? Because I've never played sports past like 13 years old. I
Yeah.
have a big music background,
Yeah.
so that's where I focus. So it's like, when you get on the court, what is it about some games? Like, just we're not jiving together. Like the aggression is just maybe not there. Like, what causes those ebbs and flows between teammates and individuals?
I wish I could know. Like, this is like, I wish I knew because we would prevent it. I wish we knew because we would prevent it every time. Like, it just happens. It's like part of the game, and it sucks. Because, like, why are we not doing it? Like, you're right. It's like, why are we not vibing? Like, what's wrong? It's like, sometimes it's just, I don't know. It just depends. It's really like, stuff like these I don't control sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, we've definitely seen it multiple times this year already, where you all, like with the Duke game in particular, we go down and then you all find a way to get back together and just come back and blow it out.
Exactly.
So maybe it's just an unspoken thing, you just feel it.
Yeah, just maybe we just feel it or something. I don't know why it happens though.
And it's interesting too, because it seems like with any team, not just us, but with any team that maybe is having, you know, not the best team.
Yeah.
It seems like the group has it happening, you know? So I think that's kind of fascinating. I mean, again, like, we're observers. We're just seeing what TV and like what our seat will show us.
Exactly.
So we don't know what it's like standing on the court.
Yeah.
I know a lot of times people will be like, yeah, that's not really a shooter's venue. It's lights or like the
lights
positioning
and
of just different
how
stuff kind of throws.
No, yeah, that's true. That's definitely a thing too. Being having a shooter's gym and not being a shooter's gym, it's usually when the walls further back because the depth perception is like different.
Do you like it that you like more distance between the hoop and like whatever's behind it?
Now that I play Kentucky, I'm used to it. But usually, what people refer to as a shooter's gym is when like the like it's closer to behind the basket, so your depth perception isn't really messed up and the lighting is better. That's what people call a shooter's gym. But as we get to a certain level, there's no really shooter's gym. Like you play in that CCH, everybody got bigger radius and stuff.
Like, is that ever part of the game plan and like the preparation? And you're sitting there going, "We're walking in this gym, and we know it's going to look like this."
No, not really.
So you're having to make a real-time adjustment.
Yeah, you just gotta go out there and play basketball and figure it out.
Do you feel like
we
this?
we get in there, we get a shoot around to get accustomed to the gym the night before, the day of the game, whenever we travel. So, you know, we'll be fine, but that's not really part of the game plan or stuff.
I mean, is that like a simple enough adjustment? Like you go out to shoot around for like an hour or whatever it is?
Yeah, I feel like it is. I feel like it is. To be honest, when you get to a certain level, I feel like it just has to be.
Yeah.
It's a high level, so you
Let's figure it out, right? Like any other professional.
Speaking of, do you have any specific like pre-game routine that you like to follow? Certain foods or rituals or reading anything?
Not really. I mean, I can't read a verse in the Bible, so that's like a new routine that I became this year. So
Is there a go-to, or you like to?
No, I just
Okay.
like reading through.
Mm.
You know, that's something I'll be starting this year. But I've been doing that now. So,
Is there one in particular that stands out?
not really.
Yeah. All right. What song on your pregame like playlists, if it got out, would be kind of embarrassing?
I don't even have like a playlist. It just depends on my mood some days, to be honest. It's just like however I feel that day, what I was listening to. So nothing.
What was last night? What were you listening to?
Last night I was listening to like a lot of Lil Baby just dropped the album, so I was listening to a lot of Lil Baby and part of the check. I
Yeah.
like some Lil Baby, some Big Boogie.
What's like the goofiest song that you've had in the rotation? Goofy or just like, you know, kind of surprising.
Got some Black Eyed Peas in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like what? What
It's like
song?
Let's Get It Started.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
It's
Yeah,
catchy.
whatever happened to Will I Am and all those
I
guys?
know, right?
Like it just seems like didn't they have some internal thing that was going on where
yeah.
they like were fighting and then it just sort of
Yeah,
They probably
disappeared?
realized Fergie didn't actually sing.
The national anthem situation.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Will I Am, is he still producing?
Yeah, he is. He's still.
I don't know. I don't keep up with him to know what he's on or working on. Jeez. So what's the rest of your day look like today?
So one day I gotta go back to the gym. You got a massage plan. Might go get a little lifting,
Okay.
work out, and then go to the stretch lab.
Oh, really?
Stretch, yeah.
What's like
massage
the
and stretch lab?
Yeah, it's an off day trying to get recovered. You know, you gotta play Saturday.
yeah. That's a crazy thing. You and I were talking about LeBron before too. It's like the amount of money that guy puts into his body is just absolutely absurd.
Yeah, that's why he's still playing.
Yeah. My gosh. You said KD is one of the guys that you always looked up to.
Yeah, KD, I love his game.
Yeah.
I respect his game completely. I like wearing his shoes. So.
Yeah. Who's like one person you're looking forward to next year, like lining up across and just having like that moment of like, holy cow.
Probably have to be Bron or KD. You know, that's
Okay.
or like Steph. Maybe. One of them.
Yeah.
They're like all like, you know, different levels. So.
Yeah. I hear that. I'm just gonna park this like somewhere, Nick,
Yeah.
and hopefully not be completely in the way. Well, I really appreciate your time and, you know, coming out, especially after a game. You should be recovering and you're doing this instead.
No, I appreciate you having me. I appreciate being
Yeah.
at this.
How did I do? Did you feel safe after a minute?
Yeah,
Hopefully.
and it's a big ass car, so.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Actually, fits you decently well,
No, it does. for
right?
Sure.
I know Nick is behind you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is really cool. What are some features in this that I don't know about that I should know?
Oh, like
I mean, like I'm looking at the technology in here, and that's pretty wild. Like,
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, in terms of the technology, you know, the lane assist, the Apple integration. My main favorite feature of the seatbelt warning. No, my main favorite thing about the Broncos is the rear stand. Just pop it on and off, especially in the summer. Maybe not today.
yeah,
But in the
6
summer.
degrees, maybe not so much. We should do this again in the summer.
In
I
the
think that
summer,
would be a lot of
it's
fun.
top off.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, Ansley, really appreciate your time and doing this whole thing.
Yeah,
And good
thanks
luck
for
in the rest of the season.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.